Yo, it's your boy Aguilar the Don Bishop. You already know propane campaign for life. But I got a big shout out to my people, man. Gully TV, keep doing what you do, brother. You already know the truth. Gonna speak for itself. You heard me? Yo, Endangered Species Protocol drops this month, 2/17. Yeah, the date. You already know. Let's get it. Go to my website, www.aguilarmusic.com. One.
Shotgun from Top Authority. Shout out to Gully TV. Flint Town is definitely in the house. One love.
Before y'all dropped that classic album, Something to Blaze To, what did y'all have going on prior to that?
Prior to Something to Blaze To, we was basically, me and Flex went from dancing to rapping. We used to dance all around here, win, do contests and shit like that. And that's how we basically came about, just from the dancing to the rapping. You know, when rap got hot, it was LL Cool J.
Yeah.
When this demo first, I was like 7th, 8th grade when that demo first, it's like this demo was put out here early. They leaked it. He was like one of the first cats with a demo leak. You know, everybody was imitating LL though. I know we was anyway, with the Kangos and the dance, with the, just trying to imitate LL and run them and shit. That's what it was. It was just all the pioneers. KRS-One, Criminal Minded. My uncle Larry Lowe, he gave me a CD. He gave me a tape. He just gave it to me, and I fell in love with Criminal Minded. Criminal Minded,
okay.
You've been blinded. That's how I kicked off.
Of all of those, those predecessors that you named, with the exception of KRS-One, none of them really had no like gangster subject matter. When I listened to Top Authority, I immediately felt the Ghetto Boys. Can you tell me how much of a influence, or what was the Ghetto Boys at in terms of Top Authority?
Okay, when we first started, it was New York basically. You know, all the New York MCs, like I just said, KRS, LL, them, Run them. And then early 90s, late 80s, Ghetto Boys and NWA came out. And us being from the Midwest, we get a lot of, we listen to everybody, you know what I mean? We don't just discriminate. So after Run and all them, LL and all them, NWA came with that gangster shit. Then Ghetto Boys came with that gangster shit, and that's kind of like where we got our influence from, like NWA, Snoop, and Ghetto Boys, because they was like the hottest. That's when gangster rap really kicked off.
Yeah, it was a climate.
I'd be lying to say Face my #1 rapper, Face and Pac. So it wasn't too hard to, to get influence from them. Not necessarily biting their style or nothing, but just that was our influence.
I wanted to clarify that same way when I was interviewing Flex. I don't want the projection or perception that y'all was biting.
Right.
But from the time y'all came out, there was like a sound comparison. Because it wasn't a lot of videos.
Right.
And y'all had X-rated music, so y'all really wasn't going to have a lot of videos at the time.
Exactly.
Beyond the box. So when was your first time hearing the Ghetto Boys comparisons?
The comparisons?
We compared y'all in my neighborhood. I mean, I just would listen to other niggas saying, man, he sounded like such and such on this song. Or when he said this, it sounded like,
To me, I sound more, I sound like Pac and Face. Without trying to sound like them. I ain't gonna say I ain't never took nothing from them. But to me, Flex sound like Face all the way to me. Like, without even trying though.
Right.
Like we took some of that shit in though, don't get me wrong, but we twisted it up to our own style too though.
Yeah.
Like, cause we know biting is wrong, that's like a crime. Yeah. You know what I mean, back then especially. So it wasn't like we bit their style, but we did that shit. You know what I mean? NWA, Ghetto Boys, shit. It was like the main two that I listened to that influenced me. You know, yeah, as far as, you know, after the New York shit, after the hip hop shit, it was that gangster shit.
Yeah.
And we was doing what they was rapping about. That's why we felt that shit.
When did it dawn on y'all that y'all kind of like put out a perfect album? Like you could play that, this I'm not gassing it. You could start at that one and go all the way to them. I'm hearing voices or the outro. I can't remember what.
Shit.
Y'all recorded them and y'all selected these songs to go on the album. When it was, damn, this shit hit. Was it a shock to you? Or you knew that the songs that you picked was some fire?
Somewhat. I mean, like, you know, after you go to the studio, you do a song. Me and Flex, we do a song, man. We be in the car for like 3 hours. We don't care how it's hot or cold. It be cold as hell. My mama was like, let me get the keys, man. Flex go in my mama's car and listen to our songs for like 2-3 hours, man, in the cold or whatever it was. We weren't even really old enough to draw it in, probably. But when I first knew we was, like when I first kind of found out we was that way, was when I called back home. We was on tour, and I called back home. I called my dad, and he was like, I called my pops, and he was like, cause I didn't know nothing about Billboard or nothing, so the record label, they like, y'all 16 or whatever we was on the Billboard. I'm like, okay. They happy, but I don't know what it is. So I called back home and asked my daddy, what's Billboard and blah, blah, blah. He like, nigga, that mean y'all selling, y'all hot, blah, blah, blah. He looked over our contract, and he was like, man, this ain't a good contract. Well, this was before all that. He said, he told us don't sign it. But me and Flex, you know, we 17, 18, we fresh out of high school, nigga, we need some money.
Trying to get on, right.
They putting 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 in our face. Hey, where the line at? We signed it. We don't give a fuck what that contract say. We hungry. So, but when I first figured we was doing something is when I called home, my daddy said, y'all 16 on the Billboard, son? That mean y'all selling. Man, they owe y'all some money. That's when I started checking the record company like, hey, where our bread at? Hey, man, we blah, blah, blah. And that's when they start, every time we complain,
yeah.
So I started putting it, okay, well, we making some, if they giving us money with no problem, that means we making some money.
What song do you feel triggered y'all rise to 16 on the Billboard charts?
Shit. Back then, there wasn't really no single. Like you said, we was so gangster. That shit was so gangster. And then we came with the 93 single. That was our game plan, but for somehow it got, it was like the end of 93. But the song was so hot, it still, I don't know, it still did what it's supposed to do, even though it was the end, and like it came out in December and shit.
What song are you referring to when you
Things Ain't How They Should Be?
That's what you call a 93?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Things Ain't How They Should Be. When that came out, and the way people was, you know, gravitating to that, I was like, that gotta be the one. I seen my mama pulling up. My mama used to be like, that shit ain't no music, blah, blah, blah. But when I seen her pull up playing that, I knew it was something. Because she don't listen to rap, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, damn, my mama went and bought that shit? Damn, okay.
It's a sentimental song. Your verses that you wrote on there, was that a reflection of what was going on out here at the time? Because some of the things you wrote, it was heartfelt as a motherfucker. Shit.
Yeah. Most of that, I mean, shit, majority of that shit was from experience or whatever I was feeling. If it wasn't for an experience, it was just from seeing my older brother or my older uncles, my cousins. It was just some hood shit, basically. Like, when we was rapping, man, we didn't know we was finna get put on. You know, we was just doing it from the heart, doing it for the love of it. And when it became a business, that's when it got serious.
How fast was it? How fast was it? Before, like, from out here fucking around, sitting in the driveway, and your man's, with your man listening to songs to, how long of a period was it?
Man, okay, let me see, we was working on the album, we was dropping songs every other day, we working on the album, we completed the album. Once we completed the album, we shot out to Atlanta and all these little places around here, and we shot to the Freakniks and all that shit, Jack the Rappers, all that shit. And shit, that's when it took off, kind of like after the Jack the Rapper, because we had a heavy promotion game, man. Our record company, they had so much promotion shit. We had gum, we had water bottles, we had towels, we had so much shit with Top Authority on there. I think that's what kind of blew us up.
At those conventions, when y'all was rolling up to the conventions, did they know who y'all was?
No, they didn't know who we was. Like, everybody know our voices and all, they don't know our faces, though.
Yeah, you know, that's something that I had to, like, kind of research and clarify on my way down here. I'm looking at the CD cover, and I'm like, damn. I had to really do some research to be able to put the faces to the name, because by the time y'all start having videos, I was out in the streets. I wasn't inside. I wasn't watching no videos.
Right,
but, the things that y'all wrote about, crack generation music, is that what y'all was putting out here?
Yeah. We was like, not bragging about the shit, but we was really living that shit. You know, we really selling drugs. We really gang banging. We really setting it off. You know what I mean? Like, not no just straight up for nothing shit, no stupid shit, but we was really not trying to glorify it like that, but we was really living that life. Like, we sold drugs. We was gang banging. We toted guns. We got harassed by the police. That shit wasn't no gimmick.
Let's talk about the song Money. How much of the lifestyle was put into that song? Man. I used to write that song, the lyrics. I was in a juvenile home. I used to be like, it was just the FBI trying to stop me from booming nationwide. So writing that shit on the wall and shit. Right. Y'all spit some shit, man. Like, did you expect the reaction that you got from that?
No, nothing we did. I kind of did.
That's a crack anthem.
Right. I mean, you know, we from the hood, so we rapping this shit. Yeah, our homies and shit like that, they love it. We loving it, but we didn't know the world was gonna fall in love with that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, we just doing what we do on some local shit, just going in the studio, making our music, and then we bumped into Ready for the World. I don't know if you up on them.
I know exactly who that is. Yeah. Tell me what it was like meeting those legends.
He stuck his head in one of our sessions, and he was like, he liked what he heard.
When you said we, who you talking about?
Me, Flex, and Day-Lo.
Who stuck their head in?
Gerald Valentine from Ready for the World. He one of their drummers, and like everybody else used to tell us he had a deal for us, and we was like, yeah, okay, whatever. He ended up getting the record deal. I mean, he seen us in the studio. A couple days later, he gave us a call like, hey man, I can get y'all a record deal. And we was like, yeah, whatever. We didn't think, you know, he was gonna really do it. But he ended up getting that record deal, flew us out to Cali, and it was on and popping.
No doubt.